we be happy as a nation that we're having more students score A, or should we be concerned that, wait, maybe there's something going on?
I think for some reasons, majority of Kenyans think that the purpose of examinations is to have people fail. So when you have a good number of people passing, then they start raising eyebrows and raising questions, sometimes which tend to be on the illogical and flipsy side. You know, I come from Kisii, and there's been jokes that maybe there's something happened in Kisii and Nyamira, where we've had a number of schools that in the past were not seen to be level 1, but they've come to rock the boat. And so it's very interesting that these senators actually think that when schools from a particular part of Kenya are demonstrating very high grades, then there is a mischief. You never hear of this conversation when it's the schools or parts of Kenya which are expected to do very well. But when there are new kids on the block, or when there are new schools rocking the boat, it
but they're calling it an abnormal curve, which again there's a lot of questions that have been raised even in the public with regard to the same.
Yeah, again, as an accountant, I'll say that these people are focusing on history, that is financial accounting, instead of looking at management accounting. Maybe what they need to go back and look at the schools which have performed very well to establish whether or not they've had a new strategy or even change of administration. Well, I come from Kisii, I'm not socialized with the education system there, but I understand the schools which are being blamed, like Nyambari High School and Cardinal Tunga High School. In the recent past, they've had new administration and you've had new strategies. So the students have done much better than the prior students. However, this investigation is welcome, so that then people are able to establish the rumors, truths, facts, and propaganda. Because if you keep on going with this kind of narrative that probably the exams were not free, fair, nor credible, then there's a very high chance that this kind of conversation may cast aspersions on the quality of education in Kenya. So in my view, this probably is welcome, so that at the end of the day, they pronounce themselves, instead of people just relying on rumors and you know, propaganda for this kind of conversation. Because you can imagine the students from Cardinal Tunga High School and Nyambaria and the rest which have done very well. You can imagine how the parents are feeling, and the top students who probably had to place a lot of cold water in a karai and, you know, spend hours on end studying. And then you are a top student and all of a sudden people are claiming, wait a minute, you assisted. And we know for a fact that in this examination, the way it was conducted, it was in the same level like, you know, the way people manufacture currency. There were a lot of security marks that it was practically impossible to seal the examination. And if maybe the examination was compromised, would you say that it was limited to 2 counties? And indeed, so it's important for relevant agencies to do a very thorough probe, and I doubt whether the Senate has got the capacity, but, you know, a very solid probe, so that, you know, Kenya produces human capital for the entire world. We don't want our, you know, in this era of globalization of production and marketing, for people to start casting aspersions on the integrity of the Kenyan exam.